Dominate your league. Defend your crown with Hosal King.
Because I love me.
Gabe Hernandez.
Here's a guy that is starting to figure the game out.
And Ray Fletcher.
You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
They bring the heat, rankings, trades, and game-winning calls to rule your league. This is Watch the Throne Fantasy Football Podcast.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Monday, September 22nd. It's a bonus episode of Watch the Throne Fantasy Football Podcast with your host, Al King. No Gabe, no Ray, flying solo today. I won't be able to be on Wednesday for the pod, so I thought I'd hop on here on a Monday and do a solo pod. Week 3 was crazy. Week 3 was bloody. Week 3 was hurtful. Week 3 isn't done yet. There's still a Monday Night Football game tonight. Hopefully, everyone comes out unscathed tonight in the Ravens-Lions matchup. One heck of a Monday Night Football game. But Week 3 did see probably the worst injury week that has been thus far of the NFL season. Lots of guys went down. Some a couple week injuries, some multi-week injuries, some season-ending injuries. And maybe we'll start there with the season enders. As sad as it is to say this, James Conner, that injury was pretty gruesome. Looked like ankle, looked like knee. Done for the year. Already came out and said he is done for the year. It's Trey Benson time in Arizona. After Conner went down, Benson had a heck of an effort. And he's widely owned across all fantasy leagues. He probably won't be out there on your waiver wire. Do yourself a favor, do a quick search Benson in all your leagues. See if he's out there. If he is, spend all your fab on him. Likely won't be. Maybe try to trade for him with the owner of Benson before he gets to tote all the touches. But that other owner knows what you know, which is going to make it a tough target to trade for. But Trey Benson should be, if you're an owner of Trey Benson, congratulations, start him next week. Start him every week. Amari DiMaccardo is the other guy there. Not really worried about him. He's more of a receiving back. He had a pretty bad drop this week as well. So I think it's Trey Benson's backfield to own, to take over, and to do well there in Arizona. We'll stick with Arizona really quick. They lost 16-15 to the 49ers. Mac Jones, another victory. But I kind of want to do injuries and guys to panic or not panic on in this bonus episode. Won't be a long one. I am in full panic mode on Marvin Harrison Jr. I am in full-on panic mode. I think if you have him, trade him. Take what you can get. Don't take bottom of the barrel, but take what you can get. If you can get back someone like, let's say, I don't think you can get a Cortland Sutton. I don't think you can get a George Pickens. But if you could, do it. But if you're looking to trade receiver for receiver, I would take guys like, boy, this is tough. This is tough. I would take guys like the two I mentioned, Devonta Smith, if he's an option. Go get him after an underwhelming start to the year besides week 3. The Eagles finally woke up in the passing game because they had to. But I'm all the way out on Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's just simply not good. Not as good as we all hoped. Not as good as we all thought. Not as good as we all saw in college. Definitely not translating over to the NFL. Trade him. Don't trade for him. Trade him away. Another season-ending injury that opens up an ample opportunity for another running back. Najee Harris, Achilles, done for the year. Omariion Hampton took over the backfield and did really, really well. And I think that offense, they're throwing a lot more than we all anticipated. But Omariion Hampton can catch it out of the backfield, as he did this past weekend. He looked good running it. He looked good catching it out of the backfield. And I think Omariion Hampton is a guy to target if you don't own him. If you own him, great. Again, though, similar to the Benson, if you try to go get him, the other owner knows what you know. So maybe a hard guy to acquire as well. But he looked good in relief after Najee Harris went down. Najee Harris, 27, James Conner, 30. Could be career-ending for James Conner. I'm not sure it's career-ending for Najee, only at 27 years old, but definitely he was on a one-year contract, so could be tough for him. Hampton, 19 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown to go with 6 receptions and 59 yards. So 129 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown with 6 receptions. Pretty good afternoon against a pretty solid Denver Bronco defense. So Hampton, definitely a guy to go target. If you own him, great, start him. Good for you. Good for you. Another guy, sticking to the running backs, that I was afraid to draft because he wasn't even signed when we were drafting our fantasy leagues. Quinshon Judkins of the Cleveland Browns. Wow. How good is this kid? How good is this kid? 18 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown. Played on 36 of the 66 snaps. Jerome Ford played on 24 of the 66, and Dylan Sampson only 5. It's his backfield. 18 carries on 36 snaps. So half the time he was out there, he touched the ball, running-wise. Believe he had a few receptions as well. If you have him and you haven't been starting him, start him with confidence. He's at least a RB2 with some potential RB1 upside weekly. Dylan Sampson, only 5 carries or 5 snaps. Probably droppable. A week 1 waiver wire delight. Droppable by week 4. Welcome to fantasy football. Welcome to Watch the Throne Fantasy Football Podcast. Solo bonus episode. If you have not visited thronefantasyfootball.com, please do so. That's our website. Articles, all of our podcasts there, both video and audio. Also a place you can support the show. thronefantasyfootball.com/listen. If you haven't ordered any barbecue jerky from That Dude's Barbecue Jerky, please do. Our show sponsor. We are powered by That Dude's Barbecue Jerky. Visit thatdudesbbq.com to get some of the best beef jerky you'll ever have. Use the code THRONE for 7% off. Please go do it. We'd be very grateful. He'd be grateful. We'd be grateful. We'd all be grateful. One team, one dream. One pack. Sticking to the running backs, week 3. Jordan Mason? Aaron Jones was out. 16 carries, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. 75% snap share with the first team in an absolute blowout of the Bengals. We'll have another panic here. Panic player coming up shortly. Jordan Mason is legit. They went out and got him from the 49ers, and they immediately signed him to a contract extension, knowing how good he was, trying to get him on a discount, and they did. You have to start Jordan Mason every week that Aaron Jones is out. You probably have to start Jordan Mason every week when Aaron Jones gets back, because if Jordan Mason keeps playing like this, I think Aaron Jones' role is going to be quite a bit more small more diminished, not as large, tinier, smaller? Words. On the other side of the ball in that game, the Bengals. Oh my goodness gracious. No Joe Burrow, Jake Browning in at quarterback. What a nightmare it was. What an absolute nightmare it was. Guys I'm panicking on that side of the ball. Chase Brown. I tried to trade him away in a league that I'm in, and I was successful in doing so. I traded away Chase Brown and Tucker Kraft for Drake London and Tony Pollard. Tyler Pollard. I just don't want anything to do with Chase Brown anymore. I know Drake London's a little bit struggling, but I'm buying low on Drake London and selling whatever you want to call it on Chase Brown. 10 rushes for 3 yards? If you've been listening to the pod, you know that I have been all about Ashton Jeanty, not a good first-round pick because of his offensive line. And that so far has panned out to be true. I didn't once mention how bad the Bengals' offensive line is, but now without the threat of a pass, that Bengals' offensive line, which is already not good, is really, really worrisome for Chase Brown. So if you have him, try to trade him. You'll probably have to include another player like I had to include Tucker Kraft. Pretty good tight end in Green Bay. But get rid of him. You don't want the headache. Go get anything for him. Full-on panic, Chase Brown. Jamar Chase, you can't panic on him. He's too talented. You just have to play him and not as a locked-in wide receiver 1. There'll be weeks where he's a wide receiver 3 or a flex. There'll be weeks where he is a wide receiver 1. Unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with those inconsistencies. If you don't want to deal with that, you can try to trade him. But again, the theme of the episode apparently, the other owners know what you already know. You all know the same thing. Struggling Bengals offense. If you want to get rid of Chase, the return should be pretty solid. If it's not good enough, don't do it. Hold on to him. T. Higgins, on the other hand, small amount of panic. Small amount of panic. Don't know what to do with him, honestly. Bench him for a week, see what happens. That defense, that offense, though, it doesn't get any easier for the Bengals. Their upcoming games are brutal against defenses. Let's pull up their future schedule really quick. They get at the Broncos versus Detroit, at the Packers versus the Steelers. Wow. Steelers defense not been as good as it has been, but those next 3 games, Broncos, Lions, Packers, good luck. Good luck. Maybe you wait to see if they make a move and get a different quarterback in there. We'll see. What we all thought was going to be one of the best offenses in the NFL could be one of the worst. That hurts. That hurts. CeeDee Lamb rolled his ankle, high ankle sprain. The Cowboys are being tongue-in-cheek and saying they hope that he could be back for week 4, but there's also been reports of him being out 2 to 4 weeks. High ankle sprains, they're the worst of the two, high or low. You don't want a high ankle sprain. Pending severity, it usually is 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks. So we'll see. We'll just keep our eyes open and ears open on the CeeDee Lamb and hope that he can come back sooner rather than later. Couple more running back things to mention before I step on off. Bill Krosky-Merritt needs the ball more in Washington. No Austin Eckler. He's done for the year. Crosby Merritt, 23 snaps. Chris Rodriguez, 22. Jeremy McNichols, 15 snaps. McNichols mostly in on third down. Also had that insane, I think it was a 60-yard touchdown run. Nuts. So Crosby Merritt had the most snaps by 1 over Chris Rodriguez at 22. Get Chris Rodriguez out of there. He was a healthy scratch the first 2 weeks. What are we doing? If he's a healthy scratch then, why is he playing 22 snaps now? Get him out of there, please. Bill. Sprinkle in some McNichols. Treveyon Henderson finally saw the field. He was my flex play of the week. He didn't turn out great fantasy numbers, but it was good to see him on the field because Ramondre Stevenson fumbled twice and Antonio Gibson fumbled once. You got to hope that means more Treveyon Henderson in the future. You got to hope. Period. I think he's a good buy low candidate. If you can go trade for him, maybe do it. Get rid of some of your headaches to bring in what will hopefully not be a headache in a week or two in Treveyon Henderson. But you'd like to see it at least one more week before you maybe go trade for him. But you got to risk it for the biscuit, they say. Woody Marks. I think this guy is sneaky. If he's available on your waiver, I'd say pick him up. He played 48% of the snaps in week 3. And he's explosive. He's just explosive. He looks faster than Nick Chubb. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. That Texans offense desperately needs an answer. I know Nico Collins finally balled out, showed up. Go Nico. But Woody Marks might be a guy to target. Lastly, as I mentioned before, I went and traded for Drake London. My panic meter on Drake London low. I think Penix needs to figure some things out. I think he has some time to do so. I'm not panicking too much on Drake London. Targets are still there. He led the team in receptions and in yards at least this past week. I think London's fine. If you have him, stay pat. Hold. Hodl. Stay strong, my friends. Panic meter. If you have any questions on panic meter, please comment them. Let me know. Text me. Comment me. DM us. All the things. Tweet at us. If you're not following on YouTube, please subscribe. We're almost at 90 subscribers. I know that's a low number. Would love to get to 100 by week 6. Help us. Hit subscribe on YouTube. Download the pods. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Check out the website, thrownfantasyfootball.com. All of the things. Follow us on X. I'm over there tweeting all the time. At ThrownFFPod. At ThrownFFPod on X. Follow us on Instagram, at ThrownBreaks. For now. That may change. Thanks for hanging out for this bonus episode on a Monday. The guys will be on Wednesday night. It's going to be Aaron, Gabe, and Ray. Wednesday night for the pod. Of course, Mike 4 as well. But this was a little flying solo bonus episode. Little react piece to week 3. Have fun watching the game tonight. Lions, Ravens. And until next time. Peace.
Dominate your league. Defend your crown with Hosal King, Gabe Hernandez, and Ray Fletcher. They bring the heat, rankings, trades, and game-winning calls to rule your league. This is Watch the Throne Fantasy Football Podcast.